Hello, welcome to my channel Geeky School with Sahil Sharma. This course, End-to-End Python for Data Science, is part of Newton School's Launchpad program. In the last video, we covered the basics of Python, and in this video, we will be doing the data structures in Python. Let's begin. So, we have four types of data structures which we will be covering in this video. They are lists, dictionaries, tuples, and sets. So let's start with the list. So this is the first data structure which we are covering, list. So lists are the mutable data structures that hold an ordered collection of elements. So what does this mean? Whatever the sequence you will put for each value, it will be constant. The sequence will not change unless you replace a value. It works same as that of an array in C++. So list is a mutable data structure with ordered collection of elements. It means, now what is mutable? Mutable means changeable. So the elements can be changed, it can be updated, and overall list will be affected. We saw in the last video that strings do not get affected, they are immutable, but lists are mutable, and this list data structure can be changed by changing a particular value in it. So let's begin. So in the first cell, you can see I have put this square bracket and I have put 1, 2, 3, 4 in it. So these are the four objects in order. This order is constant now. Let's run this. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is printed. Now again, if I do it for Boolean values, true, true, false, false, these values will be same as it is. Now let's define a student list with names A, B, and C. Let's say that there are 3 students A, B, and C, and that list is being printed. We can also find the length of a list by using this length function, which is an inbuilt function of Python. So it will be printing 3. Why? Because there are 3 names, right? Let's say that these are the 3 names of the students. So 3 is being printed, the length of the list is being printed. So this is an empty list. Let's say you want to run a program. Let's say you are working with a for loop and the values will be updated and you want to store each value in a list. So initially you might want to have a empty list. So this is how you can define an empty list. Okay. Obviously you will have to give it in a variable name. Let's say a equal to this blank list, and then you can append every time within that a, the value will be appended from empty list to whatever amount of values you want to put into it. So let's say that we have a list prime ministers equal to this, Dr. Manmohan Singh and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So these are the 2 names initially I am putting in the prime ministers list. So if I append Shri Narendra Modi, this will be the 3rd value within the list. Now if I print the prime ministers, so the prime ministers list is being updated, right? All the names are there. Now if I implement a pop function with it, dot pop function, what it does, it prints the last value and also it removes it. So similar to stacks, in stacks we remove the top element, right? And it is also removed, it is also printed. So 2 things are done. Similarly, if I use a pop function here, Shri Narendra Modi is being printed, but it has been removed from the list now. If you print the list now, it will be not having this name and it will have only initial 2 names, which we have initially. So if I want to remove a particular value, let's say I want to remove the first name. So what I can do is I can use this dot remove function, right? Dot remove function with exact value. So if I do this, the first name in the list will be removed in this case and only 1 name will be left. So this is how we manipulate this. Now remember this, if I write this foo in foodie, it means that this string is being tested to be in this one. If it is matching, it will print true, else false. In this case, it will be true because FOO is present in foodie. Now, if I make a list of Sunday and Monday, right? Days equal to list of Sunday and Monday. Now I want to check if Sunday is available in days. Days is a list here, so it will be true. But if I write Sunday with capital S, it is false. Why? Because capital S Sunday is not available in days, so it will be false. Similarly, if you write Saturday not in days, now not in means obviously it should not be there. So Saturday was not in the list, so it will be true. Sunday not in days, false. Why? Because Sunday was there in days list. Now mixed data types in list. So list has this property that you can also keep the order, but also you can use different types of data within the list. So I have an integer as well as I have a name, the string. So integer and string are together in this list. Now ideally list cannot be a variable name. So let's say I wanted to write this list as list list. Notice the color change. It means it is a predefined keyword. Instead we will write something else. So my list equal to this and then printing the list. Now if I change this value, my list first value at 0th location to be 20, what will happen? So the values will be updated. Only the 10 will be updated to 20. And if now you print the list, it will have 20 and Sahil in it. Okay. Now nesting in list. How to work with the nesting. So nest list can be 10, 20, and 30 and 20 are in itself a list. Now there are three values in this list. 10 and 20 are two individual integers. The third object in this list is 30, 40, which is a list in itself. Okay. Now if I define this, now let's say that I am writing this nest list 2 and 1. So this looks like a 2D array, right? So this means that I have to reach this location 2. It means 10, 20 and this 30, 40. So 30, 40 is 2, right? And 1 means within this 30 is 0, 40 is 1. So the output will be 40. So I hope you understood what is being told here. Moving ahead. Now let's talk about the index positions and the slicing. It applies for both the list and string. Let's see. Now let's say that ironman is equal to ironman as a string here. Within this, notice that the indexing starts from 0. If I want to print I in this, I will have to write ironman 0, right? Only I will be printed as it is. And then accordingly 1 to 6. Okay. So if I write length of ironman, so this string has a length of 7. There are 7 characters, right? The index might be from 0 to 6, but the length will be 7. Now, if I want to print ironman 1, it means that within this, I was at 0 location, 1 was R, you can see here also, right? So R will be printed in this case. Now let's understand this thing. If I write -1, it means start from the end and move one location. So what will be the value? It will be n, because ironman has n in the end. Similarly, if I want to print the 6th location, so it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, again n. Length of ironman was 7, 7 minus 1 is 6, so again ironman 6 is n. Ironman -7, starting from the end, move 7 locations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you will be moving from n to eventually I of ironman. So I will be printed in this case, and ironman 0 means I only, the first value, say n, 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 and I. So these are the 5 values which are being printed. Okay, moving ahead. So let's say that I have this list of TV series: Flash, Arrow, Grey's Anatomy, Elementary, and Sherlock. So let's work with this list with TV series names. So length is 5, obviously. Now if I want to print TV series 0, it will be the first name, right? So Flash will be printed in this case. If I write TV series -1, it means the first value starting from end. So it is Sherlock, and -2 means Elementary. Okay. Okay. Printing these, it should be Flash, Sherlock, and Elementary, right? Moving ahead. If I want to print this 1:4, it means that start from 1, including the 1th value, but till 4. So you do not have to include the 4, you have to keep it exclusive. So 1, 2, 3 will be printed. Okay, let's see 1, 2, 3 names. So this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Okay, Arrow, Grey's Anatomy, and Elementary should be the output. Let's see. Okay, moving ahead again now 3 to 5. So include third, but exclude 5. So 3 and 4 will be printed. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So Elementary and Sherlock will be printed in this case. Iron Man 0 to 3. It means within Iron Man, which was a string we had allocated initially. So capital I was the 0th location, RON. So IRON 0, 1, 2, but not the 3. So only IRO will be printed in this case. Now, if you do not want to give the starting value, it will start from the first, but it will go till this number, excluding it. So 0, 1, 2 again IRO will be printed, right? So within TV series also, that list, it is valid 0, 1, 2. The first three names of the TV series will be printed. And in this case, we have not given the ending value. It means starting from 2, you have to go till end. So Grey's Anatomy, Elementary, and Sherlock will be printed. So if you want to print the full TV series list, you can put a colon without the starting and the end value. The full TV series will be printed. Now 2 colon minus 2. So 2 is the starting point, 0, 1, 2. Okay. And minus 2 is the end point. Minus 2 means minus 1, minus 2. So this is the end point. Obviously, you do not have to include this. So only this name will be printed. Let's see. Only one name is being printed. Now moving to the second type of data structure, dictionaries. So this is unordered. So in this, we have to work with the key value pair. I will just show the example. But in this case, unordered collection is there. So even when you have allocated five, let's say 5 names in the dictionary with key and value, if you print the full dictionary, it is not guaranteed that the sequence will remain same while printing. That is creating the associations between the two pieces of data. So we will see that how this key value pair works. So let's say that Rohit Sharma has his jersey number as 45. So this is a key value pair, and this Rohit Sharma is the key value is 45. And obviously value can be same. Let's say that this was a case of a food menu in a restaurant. So let's say this was a rupee. This was the price of a food. So 45 can be price of multiple things, right? So value can be duplicate, but key has to be unique. Okay, so key must be unique and value can be repeated. So let's generate this dictionary in which I have named it as jersey number. I have taken 4 batsmen with their jersey numbers as key value pair. So let's define it. Now if I print this dictionary, this will be printed, right? So if I print the length of this dictionary now, it looks like 8 values, but they are only 4 in dictionary because it is a key value pair. So key value is being considered as 1. So length is 4. So jersey number of Rohit Sharma will be printed in this case. But now if I want to print jersey number of Yuvraj Singh, obviously this name is not in the list. So there will be error, right? So what to do now? Jersey number Yuvraj Singh equal to 11, right? Okay, so let's do this one. So this key value has been added to the dictionary. Now if you print it, dictionary will not retain the order, but there will be 5 names now. So MS Dhoni is at the top, but I did not put MS Dhoni at the top in the list. So initially this was at the 4th number. Even here this came first. So yeah, the order is not being maintained. It's okay. Now this has been added, but let's say that I realized that Yuvraj Singh's jersey number was not 11, it was 12. So to edit it, I can just write jersey number Yuvraj Singh equal to 12. That value will be replaced. 11 will be replaced by 12. Now if I print it, it will be showing the number as 12. Okay. So this is how the key value pairs can be manipulated. Now if I pop MS Dhoni out of the list, so it will be removing that key value pair from the dictionary, and it will also print the value, not the key, but only the value of that key. Now if I print the jersey num, so these 4 names are there now. Now let's check of the presence of key within the dictionary. So Rohit Sharma was in the dictionary, so true. Now in the next two commands, we are also again checking in and not in. So Bumrah was not in the jersey number. So Bumrah in jersey number will give us false. But I have written Pandya not in jersey number. It means it is true. Why? Because Pandya was not in the dictionary. So jersey num dot values. Now only the values will be printed. Okay. And if you want to check if that value is there, you can do it by using this jersey num dot values function. So 45 is there, so the answer will be true. Now let's move to the tuples. So tuples means that it works like a list and it is immutable. Right? Immutable means it cannot be changed. The sequence value will not be changed, and even the value cannot be replaced. So instead of square brackets, you can use this round bracket to generate a tuple. So t equal to 920, all the 10 values are there. Now because these are immutable, if I want to replace the 0th value, if I give it a new, it will give us error. Why? Because this does not support the assignment. The assignment is not supported in this, so the value cannot be replaced. Now let's move to the last data structure, sets. So these are the unordered set of unique elements. So in curly brackets, we have to give a set, right? So 1, 2, 3, it is printed as it is. But in this case, even if I have put the duplicate values in it, then also it will give me only the unique values. So this is how sets work. Only the unique values will be taken. That's it. Thank you for listening. That's all for data structures in Python. In next video, we will be moving to the next topic. The code of this exercise is given in the description. The GitHub link will be provided. Subscribe to the channel and we will meet in the next video. Thank you.